Lovely Libras, welcome to June. I am drawing a significator card for you, a talisman card, some angel cards to see which archangels are walking with you for this month, and then we will draw your tarot cards as well. Let's have a look and see what is happening for my lovely Libras in the month of June. There are your two cards. Okay, what are we shown here? We have your significator card is Seek the Truest Self. Okay, this is your significator card, and your talisman is Balanced Emotions. And your angel cards, you have Breathe, Archangel Raphael. I love this card. Take several deep breaths and exhale slowly to awaken your energy and to release old patterns. And then Healthy Lifestyle. Archangel Raphael, two Archangel Raphael cards. So Archangel Raphael is very, very much with you. Now this is interesting because Archangel Raphael does sometimes show up. His energy is often expressed through specific people. So it may be that there is someone in your life as well who will be around you to support you. But this is very much about your health and your own balance and your own well-being. Healthy lifestyle. Eat a healthful diet, get adequate sleep and exercise regularly. Balanced emotions. Let's read about Seek the Truest Self from this book. Here we are. Seek the truest self. Trauma creates a false self. It tricks you into believing in your smallness, your unworthiness. It demands that you conform and comply in order to escape pain. The thoughts and beliefs that come from your early unworthiness programming are false stories and fake news. The crippling fear that you're not enough, that it'll never happen for you, that you are less than deserving of every good thing. Total lies. It's time to seek proof of your inherent value and great worthiness. Remove the masks the old stories created. Endeavour to hear the voice that speaks the truest and most beautiful tale of you, even when facing uncertainty or doubt. Then tell that story to your inner child every night before bedtime. True stories make the best fairy tales. Wow. Lovely Libra. You know, every Libra I know, all of you, my beautiful Libra friends, they all, interestingly enough, I think probably share a common denominator in that I don't think any of them truly realise how amazing they are. And so I voice that to all of you. I think you don't realise how amazing you are. All the Libras I know give endlessly of themselves. And often it's completely out of balance because they don't get the same in return. They sometimes give to the wrong people. Lovely Libras. Right, this is a really big month for you because I think it's an opportunity to kind of, it's not just looking after you, it's more than that. It's like to shift a pattern that may have held you back throughout your life. It's to turn something, not exactly turn something around, but yeah, I think we have the potential with the energy for you here to bring something into balance, but I think it comes through really embracing your absolute self-worth. Seeing these and this and this. I'm seeing this card. Definitely that one. Definitely that one. Definitely that one. And definitely that one. What do your tarot cards tell us, lovely Libras? Page of Swords. Temperance, coming back into balance. The Devil. The Mob. Strength. King of Wands. Six of Wands. Four of Cups. Four of Swords. And Five of Cups. Let me move these cards along so everything I hope is in view for you. Now the Mob is a card that is, it's like an extra card in this pack. There are 2 extra cards. The Mob is one of them. This is where a group of people can become sort of driven by the collective energy, as opposed to the energy that is uniquely yours. You know, it's like where people get into an emotional fervour. That's the right word? To an emotional fervour, and, you know, because they are emotionally charged up, fired up, they, yeah, I mean, it's like if you've got a really charismatic leader, they can fire people up, and they can fire those people up to be the best that they can be, or they can fire them up to be the worst that they can be and commit atrocities and awful things. So there's something of this energy. I actually think in this instance, you're being asked to absolutely be true to yourself in something here, regardless of what anyone else thinks. You don't have to comply, you don't have to fit, you don't have to be the same. You're being asked to step up and be you. Look at this, King of Wands, 6 of Wands. Absolutely. Put your head above the water. You don't have to blend in and be the same as everyone else. This is about you being uniquely you. Now, there'll be a situation around you that is creating this, especially with the Page of Swords. Look at the way she's kind of almost hiding. Almost looks like she's in hiding here. Maybe you think differently to other people around you, or there's a situation where you have a very different perspective. Be true to yourself. You know, with the Devil, sometimes, I mean, this can connect to, it connects to cutting cords. It connects to cutting cords that connect to addiction. It connects to cutting cords that connect to, you know, the addiction could be to substances, to food, to alcohol, to all sorts of things. It could also be an addiction to perfection, to having to get it right, to please everybody, an addiction to being a people pleaser. It could be an addiction to, people pleasing. It could be an addiction to a thinking pattern where you feel you have to fit. Everything in your reading is saying this is about you being you and not being afraid to be you. Now, because we have healthy lifestyle, if any of you have resorted to, you know, overeating, over drinking, over anything, overindulging in anything, almost to compensate for the lack of something. Well, when we do that, if we compensate, I mean, any addiction is a compensation for something. You know, it's covering up the hurt, it's covering up the pain, it's a numbing sometimes of the pain, rather than facing it and saying, do you know what? You know, I feel really empty, or I'm, you know, or I feel that I'm, you know, it'll never happen for me, kind of thing. Well, I kind of want to say this is a month to turn that around completely. I need to draw some more cards to find out. I think it's interesting, we've got this 4 of Cups where I see her coming up for air, and we have the card Breathe. I think something might happen this month that is actually rather good with the King of Wands and the 6 of Wands. I think you might get seen. Now, whether this is in the immediacy of your own world, or you get seen if you've always felt invisible, that somehow someone sees you, if it's in relationship or at work, you get recognized and acknowledged. There's something, you know, where you are, I think you get seen in some way, And you're being asked not to back down or to react in a way that would dishonour your visibility. So, for example, if you got real validation and normally you'd be like, oh, no, it was nothing. Well, how about you just say thank you? Yes, you're right. I put a lot of work into it. Thank you so much. It really means the world to me that you've noticed that or you've acknowledged that. This is about visibility, being seen, not having to be something that you believed you did have to be, but there are circumstances around you. Letting go, as I said, cutting cords, letting go of the things that you have used to protect yourself, but they have stopped you from being visible. And also when you are visible and seen and validated and successful, that you honour it and allow yourself to have it and continue having it. With the mob, it's very, very interesting because the energy of this card is quite fascinating. It is about recognising that as a leader, leaders can get swept along by their own sort of ego and their own agenda. I mean, as opposed to, being swept along for the good of the people. So I'm very curious. This feels like that's perhaps what you're letting go of, is the blending into the background, the compliance. No more. No, and I almost want to say no more Mr. Nice Guy. Okay, or nice girl, whatever, however you identify. No more Mr. Nice Person. And that doesn't mean you're not nice and you're not lovely, because you are. But no more tolerating something that is not right for you. That will be a message for some, but not all. No more picking up the pieces in the chaos of other people's worlds. Right, there's a missing link here with the Five of Cups. Look at that. We have the top of the statue. We have the base of the statue. There's a space in between. With the Four of Swords, this is a card of getting still, breathing, stillness, meditation. Right. I think you are to repair something within you that you haven't been able to fully own. This is quite an internal kind of month for you. However, I think external circumstances support it and make this real. But I think there is an internal something that becomes challenged in order to fix it and repair it for good. Isn't that exciting? Like the missing link. Something can get joined up. You don't have to be a half a person or a broken person. You can become a whole person. What is it that happens? Now, I am doing extended readings. Let's draw more cards. But I am doing extended readings, lovely Libras. And what I'm doing is building on this reading in the extendeds. I will be asking a lot of questions about the circumstances that are creating this space of your visibility, your success, and your wholeness. But let's ask for more cards now in your reading anyway, before I move on to the extendeds. We have the Fool. Oh, so there's a radical new beginning. This is also about taking a risk. We've got Temperance coming again. And Queen of Pentacles. And the Nine of Cups. And the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. Take a risk. Go out on a limb. If there's a situation in which you would normally not have a voice, have one. If there's a situation, or it would, for some of you, it might be, if you've got best buddies and you go out drinking together, but you really, really want to quit that. You're just so sick and tired of it. This is the time to say, no, sorry, I don't want another drink. I don't want to go out drinking. This is, even though that might be the general consensus, yeah, but we always go out on Friday and Saturday. That's what we do. And you're like, no, I want to do something different. Have the strength and the courage of your convictions. Yeah, if you're in a situation where, you know, something happens and it's the general consensus. This is what we do. This is how we do it. And you're like, no. Have the courage to say no. Have the courage to step up into your own success. And then look after yourself. This is a big energy shift for you, lovely Libras. This is absolutely be you. Have the courage to do it differently. But this is about you having a voice, but being, making a commitment to balance, to boundaries. Of course, lovely Libras, this is all about, you know, you are designed to be in balance. And one of the sort of like the ways in which that can manifest is that sometimes, because you're designed to be in balance, you always try to keep the peace. This is actually saying risk having a voice and you'll be heard. You don't have to keep the peace. You can just say, this is taking a risk and taking an ownership of your position on something. I think the thing is, it's more than just the circumstance or the something, because what it's actually doing is honouring you. You're stepping into the fullness and the wholeness and the balance of what it means to be you. And in doing so, this is like this layer of soul growth. So there'll be a circumstance that creates this stepping up. However, the real growth that comes from it is you removing the mask and absolutely knowing that you can be you. Now, I am very fascinated to know how this is panning out. What kind of circumstances are we looking at here? The Wheel of Fortune is the wheel is turning. And with the Nine of Cups, it's turning in your favour. There's a lot of self-satisfaction here. So I feel that you can overcome a fear of being seen, or a fear of having a voice, or overcome an addiction, or overcome an inability to say no, or there's something you can overcome here. I think in your extendeds, I will really, really inquire about the actual circumstances and see what information I can get, and also how best to navigate it. This is a very powerful month for you. But everything is to come back into balance. And Temperance, I mean, this is the goddess Iris. And this, the goddess Iris, she doesn't mess around, this goddess. She is kind, she is wonderful. This is a very Libran card. It's a very Libra energy. She is kind, she's wonderful, she's in balance. But my goodness me, if she meets a taker, she says no, because that's not balanced. She doesn't take any shit, this goddess. Woman of my dreams, amazing woman. This is a great role model for us all. Absolutely, totally non-gender specific. We don't tolerate what isn't okay. We don't feed what's not okay. We define it. We say it. She's got a powerful energy. Yeah, if anyone is taking the Michael around you, time to say no. You're going to feel good about it, though. It goes back to childhood for many of you. And that's the layer of soul growth here, which is to give you an opportunity to change a childhood perspective that is totally not real, and to move this forwards in a different way. It's very life-changing. Lovely Libras, I'm going to move to the extendeds and find out more. Now, before I depart this reading, I would like to say thank you all for being here. Thank you for supporting the new channel. But my lovely Libras, I genuinely think this is quite a turnaround month for you, because there's so much healing in owning your own right and entitlement and your own success, your visibility, allowing yourself to receive appreciation and thanks rather than sweeping it under the carpet, allowing yourself to say no to things that don't work for you, not being afraid to be uniquely you, not being drawn into the chaos and drama of others. It's not for you to carry that. Be yourself, step up, own who you are. And in doing so, also seriously shift any sort of connections to your world that stop you from feeling okay about that. Lovely Libra, this is your reading. I'm now going to move on to the extendeds. I'm going to keep these cards, build on them, and really dive into as much detail as possible. The extendeds are available on Patreon and in the YouTube members area. You are welcome to join me if you wish. Thank you so much to all of you who do and are a part of those platforms, because your donations actually help to support my free online library and keep it free. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for supporting this new channel. And thank you so much for also supporting my main channel where I do all my pick a card readings. Tons of love, Libra. I look forward to seeing you either in the extendeds or in another reading really soon.